Whole show going crazy. Whole show going crazy. Top 5 we debating.
Top five. 5 Over Friends, the show where we debate our top 5 list on a topic chosen by a listener with the listener.
As usual, our friendship goes out the door once we get into it. This is 5 Over Friends. All right, so let's kick off this episode with Wes's punishment for losing episode number 7. Wes, let's hear it.
I love you. Oh, God. I got to start that over.
God, you got to keep that in there. Oh my God, that's the best.
That was so bad. I'm sorry.
Leslie. Oh my
I'm crying.
I am too. Okay, that's all we need. What's up, guys? Welcome to a new episode of 5 Over Friends. Thanks for joining us again. Wes and I are here joined by Brad this week. Brad submitted a topic that Wes and I had actually been waiting for, I feel like. We figured it would be submitted at some point, so glad to finally be debating this with folks. But Brad, let's give the listeners a quick introduction to yourself real quick.
Hey guys, my name is Brad, last name redacted for security reasons. I am a recently unemployed engineer due to all the mess with Corona. So, just living that unemployed life, waiting for something to come back. I'm a 2-time best man. I don't know if that speaks to my character, to my good looks. You'd have to ask those guys about that. But I went to high school with Wes, and we were roommates for a while. And I feel like we've been friends for, 10 years it feels like. But yeah, I've known Wes for a good little bit, and just excited to be on.
Thanks for coming on, Brad. And it's worth noting, Brad and I, while being friends, we've always been those type of friends that butted heads and like to argue about things. So this is the perfect place for us to discuss and argue our top 5 here. So let's tell the listeners what the topic choice was, Brad.
I suggested that the list this week be beverages. I suggested it either be alcoholic or otherwise. I've got one alcoholic drink on here, but just something when you've been working all day and you're thirsty. What's the first thing you grab when you come inside?
All right, I think that's a solid topic because everybody has to drink something all day long. So
that's very well said, Wes. Yes, this guy is full of wisdom.
It comes with age. It's just full of it.
Well, I do feel like, Brad, you might have a little bit of an advantage being newly unemployed in the fact that you have more time to think about this topic than we do. In taste, lots of different beverages, taste test, put them around the table. I'm sure you're a real connoisseur of these different beverages that you have on your list. So,
I mean, like Wesley said, I try to drink something every day.
Well, it's a good plan.
In hindsight, that was a rather dumb comment. Not gonna lie.
But
all right, Brad, you want to get into it and give us your number 5?
Yeah, sure. For number 5, I picked the elixir of life itself, water. I feel like all beverages have to come from water. So, I don't know the makeup of all the drinks on my list, but, water's got to be in there somewhere. So it's, one of the most abundant things on this earth, water. It's all around us. But also, people forget that it can be turned into wine when it's put into the right hands. So you kind of have to think about the utilitarianism of water,
That is very true. And before Wes gets to it, you need water.
Every day.
So, every day.
Yep.
So I just wanted to beat Wes to the punch on that one.
All right. I mean, you can't argue with water because it is kind of like the most important one when you think about it.
Well, especially if it's high quality H2O, like Bobby Boucher would say.
Water boy. All right, I'll get in with my number 5 now. I said vitamin water zero, specifically the lemonade flavor. So
That's
it's
the
like
best flavor of Vitamin Water Zero.
it's great. Yeah. So and Vitamin Water Zero, it's healthy-ish water with a taste to it. And the zero is 0 calories, 0 sugar. I think it's both of those. So it's when you want a little taste to your water. That's for me what that does. And spoiler alert, I didn't put regular water on my top 5. I went with all things with taste.
You're just too good for regular water, Westbo.
I guess I gotta have them high quality vitamins in my water and no calories either. So yes, with number 5, Vitamin Water Zero lemonade flavor.
We'll throw back to episode 5. Shout out to my boy 50 Cent, Vitamin Water connoisseur and investor.
Yeah, is he the main investor?
I think he was the bankroll. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, on to my number 5. I don't have too much negative to say about Vitamin Water Zero, I guess, if that really makes your top 5. I don't know. That didn't even come near my top 5. So, number 5 for me, I'm going to go with tea. You got the sweet, you got the unsweet, you got lots of different flavors of tea. So I went with tea. I actually used to not like tea at all until about maybe a year or 2 ago. And I think I got my first taste of what true sweet tea from the South tastes like. And that made me a tea believer. So I can't drink anything but like 6 cups of sugar tea, but I love it when it's there. I'm taking it. So definitely nice on a warm day.
First, anyone who drinks unsweetened tea, you are uncultured swine.
I was about to say you said unsweet tea, and I about came through my computer.
If you would have said unsweetened tea was your choice of tea, there would have been a fight, because I know 2 people here would have ganged up on you heavy.
I can't imagine where y'all got your sweetness of tea like from.
Yeah, down here in North Carolina, we only do it one way, and that's 6 cups of sugar, like you said.
Exactly.
You don't measure the sugar.
You don't measure.
You just pour.
Half the bag is fine. Half
just
the bag
eyeball it.
Yeah.
Now, are you talking about like iced tea? You're not talking about hot tea, are you?
Oh no, it has to be iced for me. I mean, tea is really a pretty general. So if you like hot tea, that's your own thing. But for me, it's got to be sweet iced tea, and it's got to be like iced to the brim of the cup and let the tea cooler down. So
now,
I'm not mad at that.
When you had your first taste, when was that? When you went to South Carolina for Hilton Head?
No, I'm talking about like I may be uncultured for this, but like Raisin Cane's sweet tea. Like I mean, it's out there in the open, right? It's out there in the open, so I could take a little try of it. I'm like, oh, let me give it a shot, because they kind of promote that quite a bit. I was like, oh, this is kind of nice right here. I like this.
I mean, any chicken place in the South, you're almost guaranteed to have good sweet tea. So
you can pretty much substitute chicken for just any place in the South. You're about guaranteed to have good sweet tea.
That's fair.
All right, Seth, let's hear your 4 now.
All right, so my number 4, I have sports drinks, but more specifically Gatorade for me. I grew up playing sports, and Gatorade was always around, and that was like for me, it's a little bit nostalgic actually, in the fact that, before I had a baseball game or whatever, we'd run to Quick Trip, which is our gas station here in the Midwest that we prefer, and I'd get to go in and pick out my favorite Gatorade and grab it and sit there and drink it in between innings, waiting for my ABs. So, yeah, Gatorade. There's like 600 different flavors. Shout out X Factor, the berry and fruit punch mix.
What's your favorite regular flavor though? Not that X Factor stuff.
I like the Cool Rush blue. I like the blue.
That's a solid choice. I don't think anybody dislikes that. My favorite thing about Gatorades was when they had that twist top cap where you could like the
squeezy cap?
The squeezy cap, yep.
Yeah, they still have those.
I haven't seen them in a while, but I also don't buy Gatorade at like the gas station anymore.
You can find them at Dollar Tree. I found one at Dollar Tree a couple weeks ago.
See, boom.
That when I was playing like T-ball and stuff, it's like I wanted a Gatorade, but I couldn't have the regular cap. I had to have that squeeze cap.
Oh, you got to have the squeezy cap.
Bougie kid.
And now that I'm getting older and I got to watch my caloric intake. Unfortunately, I've had to downgrade myself to Gatorade Zero,
I
but
think the Zero's good.
it's not that bad.
It's
not
much
that
better than
bad.
that G2 stuff. I
Yeah.
actually like the Gatorade Zero.
Yeah, Gatorade Zero is fine, but I still love a true Gatorade. But that's my number 4. Gatorade.
All right.
I'm not mad at that either.
It's a solid one. So my number 4, I'll go ahead with it. I'm gonna say OJ. I had to go with something for the breakfast drinking, and I love some OJ with my pancakes, with waffles, with bacon, eggs. Like that's my go-to breakfast or brunch beverage. And if you're feeling real frisky, you can even mix it with a little bit of champagne, make you
a little mimosa.
Ooh.
Yeah. So
Ooh.
that's
Are you talking about pulp or no pulp?
Yeah, I gotta know.
No pulp.
Okay.
No pulp.
I'm not trying to chew my orange juice personally.
I don't. I'm a big, like, when it comes to eating, I'm a big texture person, and so like when I'm drinking something, I don't want there to be any texture in there either. Like the texture of a food or a drink matter to me. So that almost grittiness or whatever that pulp brings is not good for me.
Do you have a specific brand? Because I feel like
Simply
there is
Orange.
some difference between
Simply Orange.
the orange brands, right? Like orange juice is not the same between like the half-gallon jug of your local grocery stores, like internal brand. You know what I'm talking about? Like straight from concentrate versus
Simply
Florida's
Orange.
Best
Simply Orange is
Simply
the go-to for me. Florida's Best is okay.
Tropicana's out there, Minute Maid. I mean, you got lots of different options.
But yeah,
something about your brand that stands out as opposed to other things, since apparently you have very specific taste?
I don't know. I've just always liked that one. I think a few of the other ones, I think Minute Maid and some of them are a little more sour than the Simply Orange. I don't know.
I'll take mine with a splash of pineapple juice too.
That's weird.
It's fire.
Yeah, never heard of that.
No, well, you guys are missing out.
Pineapple juice itself's not bad, but I've never heard of the mixture there.
Okay, we'll try it.
All right.
You'll be addicted. All right, Brad, what you got? Number 4.
Number 4, we're gonna go with a soda. As I'm looking at my list, not a lot of healthy options in here. Y'all are talking about like low cal, low sugar, and mine are just fully loaded. But at number 4, I've got Cheerwine. For those that may not be familiar, it's a soda manufactured here in North Carolina. You go to other parts of the country, you don't see Cheerwine a lot. And so it's something that is very unique to being in the South. And if you can find it in the glass bottle, Cheerwine in the glass bottle is far superior than that of the plastic bottle variety. And I don't know why. I'm not a scientist, but for some reason it just tastes better. And even though it is not actual wine, it's just soda, but it is one of the greater products to come out of North Carolina, in my humble opinion.
I've never heard of that stuff in my life. You've got to try it next time you're back in the South. It's a really good. Do you like cherry Coke?
Yeah, who doesn't like cherry Coke?
It's a much better cherry Coke, like a much better cherry Coke. Wouldn't you agree, Brad?
I would say so. It's just straight cherry, none other flavors mixing around in there. It's got some pretty decent carbonation. The only downside to Cheerwine is if you leave it in a cup, you leave it in a bottle with the cap off, it goes flat very quick. And I will admit that is a downfall of Cheerwine. Like I said, I'm not a scientist. I don't know how that works, but it is.
I was going to chime in, Brad. I'm not a scientist either, but the reason you like it more in glass than plastic is because the density of glass keeps the carbonation inside the soda.
I was going to say all sodas are pretty superior in the glass bottle. The glass bottle Coke.
I'll take glass over aluminum and aluminum over plastic.
Agree here. The only upside to the plastic over the aluminum is if like you're playing golf or doing something, you can screw the cap back on and not spill anything or let a bug get in there.
I feel that. Well, Seth, even if nothing else, I've learned something today, and I feel like, that's just what all this is about, is learning things. So I appreciate that little bit of knowledge you just threw at me.
Hey, you know what? That's what I'm here for, and I'm also here to try whatever the heck you just said is your number 4, sheer wine or whatever.
Cheer wine, like cheer, like
Oh,
yippee.
cheer.
I'll have to
Okay.
I'll have to mail you a case of it if you aren't planning on being back in the South anytime soon.
I'll probably have to take you up on that because I'm not planning on being back in the South anytime soon. Not in Corona world right now.
Absolutely phenomenal. If you can get your hands on some, highly recommend it.
All right, I'll take that into consideration. So what's your 3 then?
Number 3, I've got my alcoholic drink on here. I'm going to go with Busch Light.
Busch latte.
Busch Latte, as the kids say these days. It is, for those who may be under 21, if you're under 21, obviously you've never drank alcohol in your life, but it is a beer. It's an all-around great light beer. There's plenty of options in the beer market, but for a light beer, I would say it's become my go-to. If you would have asked me back in college, I probably would have said Coors Light, but, flavors evolve, people change, things happen. So now I'm going to go with Busch Light. One thing I appreciate about Busch Light is it is very drinkable in the tailgate lot. You can just pound Busch Lights all day long. They're perfect for the tailgate, the beach, a darty. Absolutely great for a darty. And the thing that I appreciate about it is it's predictable. Some beers they get out of hand very quick. That the alcohol content is too high, things get out of hand, and it's an unpredictable drunk experience, if you will. But with Busch Light, it's very controllable, very drinkable, and I feel like it's great for any occasion.
Was this your argument to your last boss?
It
makes me more productive.
I know exactly what to expect while I'm doing this.
I personally, and I don't drink a ton of beer myself. I'm more of a liquor drinker, as you know, Brad. But if I'm gonna drink a beer, it definitely is not gonna be a Busch Light. There are 100 other beers I would choose before Busch Light.
Well, it depends on your application too. If you're in the tailgate lot, you're not here for a long time. You're here for a good time. Now, there's other beers you may drink if you're looking for flavor. I'm not saying Busch Light is the flavor house, but it gets the job done. After you drink 3 or 4, you can't really taste them anyways. So.
Well, here you are telling us that you didn't have any health conscious drinks, and you went ahead with a light beer.
Yeah, it's pretty much water anyway. So you've got water on your list twice.
Well, sometimes
just hoppy water.
Yeah, when you're out there in the tailgate lot, you gotta refuel while you're, where they say rehydrate while you dehydrate.
Hydrate before you dehydrate.
That's right.
All right, I'll let Busch Light stand for a 3. I'll let it stand. I won't give you too hard of a time, other than the fact it tastes like nothing, pretty much. All right, I'll go with my 3. So Seth said Gatorade a minute ago. I'm going with Gatorade Zero for the same reason I said, like the vitamin water zero, the health conscious reasons. I think Gatorade overall probably tastes slightly better, but you can't tell that much of a difference between Gatorade and Gatorade Zero, and much more drinkable. I think Gatorade sometimes has a slightly thicker consistency, so it's a little tougher to drink a bunch of it, even with its slightly better flavor. So Gatorade Zero, and specifically the lemon lime flavor, is my favorite. I do like the blue. I do like the blue frost. It's good too.
Ooh, I was with you until you said lemon lime. Oh my god,
you lost me at lemon
terrible.
Lime.
That's my favorite.
Horrible.
My wife's favorite's the blue frost, so we end up keeping more of the blue frost in the house anyway. So I drink more of that. But my favorite, if I'm just grabbing one, lemon lime.
No, I have 2 flavors of Gatorade Zero in the fridge right now. About 8 packs of them. I have the white cherry and the orange in the fridge. I'm absolutely
Orange is trash.
Listen to me. Lemon lime will never enter my house ever. It's the most disgusting flavor of the Gatorade Zero. There's no debate about that. Brad, back me up on this.
No, I'm 100% with you. If it was between lemon lime Gatorade and nothing, I would 1,000% go.
If it was between drinking my own urine and lemon lime Zero, it would be a very difficult decision.
It's
my God.
like the taste.
And it is very sterile. Exactly.
Yeah, you lost me. I was with you. I was following you. You know, sometimes the regular Gatorade can be thick, and then you said lemon, and I jumped ship, Wes.
Oh, well. I mean, there's bound to be some lemon lime lovers out there that are listeners. Say that 5 times
All
fast.
three of them are
Lemon
out
lime
there.
lovers that are listeners. Say that.
Well,
Say
they're wrong. So.
All right. So there's my 3. Seth, let's hear your 3.
All right. My number 3 is lemonade. I love some cold lemonade, and it comes in so many different flavors. My specific favorite flavor is strawberry. I love me some strawberry lemonade. Many different restaurants out there have spectacular strawberry lemonade. I myself do not make homemade strawberry lemonade, but if I did, I'm sure it would be delicious.
Probably not.
Overall, lemonade is an exquisite beverage, and I'm proud to have it at my number 3 spot.
It's okay. I'll tell you who does have pretty good lemonade. Chick-fil-A. I do like their lemonade.
See, once again, I was with you, Wes. I was with you. I really want to be on your team because we're boys,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't get past the pulp in Chick-fil-A's lemonade. I love the flavor, but the pulp is what gets me.
If you're
It
drinking
does
through a
have some
straw,
pulp.
you don't grab the pulp.
Interesting that you say this. Have you never drank orange juice through a straw? And
Probably
at that
not.
point, did
don't
you
think so.
not want the pulp to be gone?
I don't think I've had orange juice through a straw, like genuinely. I don't think I ever have.
Wow. You didn't have those little cartons as a child at school?
Ours were not straw cartons. Ours were like the
Like the break
the
open
boxes.
and pull out, like
Yeah,
the cardboard?
exactly. So there was no straw included with that.
We still buy those for crew sometimes, like the little cartons. He hates juice, but we still try. We're like, hey, you want to try juice? But lemonade, delicious. 54th Street, great strawberry lemonade. You know who has really good strawberry lemonade? Chili's. I'm going to throw that out there. Chili's, national brand. Shout out to your strawberry lemonade because it's fire. All right, so lemonade, number 3.
You ever mix that with some of your sweet tea? Make you a an Arnold Palmer?
Oh, absolutely. Got to have a little Arnie Palmy in me sometimes.
All right, let's hear 2.
Okay, number 2. I use these terms very interchangeably. So soda and or pop is my number 2. So I've just kind of grouped them all together as my number 2 beverage for my list. There are, hundreds and hundreds of different varieties and flavor options. I like most of them. Some are horrible. I'm sure whatever, Wes, you like, I would probably hate because you'll choose some terrible flavor. But for me, I love soda. Or if you want to call it pop, whatever it is.
It's soda. It's not pop.
Recently, I've been on a Mountain Dew Zero Sugar kick, and it is the best zero sugar soda I've ever had. And it gets me all the caffeine that I need. So
I think the zero sugar sodas, they taste fine on like the first sip, but the aftertaste is what gets me. It's like it leaves this weird after flavor in my mouth. That's what gets me with those zero sugar.
Have you had the Mountain Dew Zero Sugar?
I think I have.
It just came out like not that long ago.
I know I've had the Sprite Zero Sugar one, but not the Mountain.
If you haven't had the Mountain Dew, you need to try it because at least in Kansas City, it was sold out for a long time. And then the first time I saw it again, I had to pick up like 3 or 4 12-packs because I didn't ever want to live my life without the option to have a Mountain Dew Zero Sugar in the fridge. So that is my number 2.
I'll have to give it a try because I like me some Mountain Dew.
Seth, I'm going to have to call you out on this. I know we haven't known each other very long, but that is the biggest cop-out I have ever heard to just generalize soda.
Well, you got to think about this, Brad. We're running a show here that's about top 5s, and I want to leave it up to our listeners to maybe suggest a topic in the future that's top 5 sodas. So I didn't want to reveal, one of my top 5 sodas here on this show while we're being pretty generic. And that might not even make my top 5. I'm talking about that's a diet drink that I'm trying to watch my weight right now. So come on now.
Well, see, I'm here to win. I'm here for one day and one day only, here to make my point. So
it's
I'm
a very
getting
valid
specific.
point, Brad. Very valid point.
But you had Bush Light on your list. Okay, so I think you've already hurt yourself along the lines of the listeners.
He'll get some votes because at the end of the day, 100 beers in 3 days also got quite a bit of votes. Shout out Roker.
I mean, that in itself is a feat.
Yeah, I still don't know how that's possible.
A buddy of ours, he drank 24 beers in a day, and that was so impressive. I don't know how he did it. And to drink 103?
That's 72 hours. So you're looking at, if you stay awake all 72 hours, you pretty much have to drink 1.5 beers per hour. Is that, I mean, pretty close to that? Pretty close to that. So that's, I don't even see how that works. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about top 5.
We are getting off topic.
Yes, we are. All right. So Seth's got his number 2. I'm moving to my number 2 in that same vein, but I got specific. I said Sprite.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Sprite is a great beverage. I love to drink it on its own.
More lemon lime.
Yes, more lemon. I mean, there's a trend in my list. Vitamin Water Zero lemonade, Gatorade lemon lime, Sprite is a lemon lime drink. There's a trend in there. I like me some lemon lime.
You're basic.
But Sprite is very versatile to me. I love to drink it by itself, but as I mentioned earlier, when I drink an alcoholic beverage, it is more often than not a liquor drink, and I like me a vodka Sprite. That's my go-to drink there. So I picked Sprite as my number 2 because it's versatile, like for both alcoholic and non-alcoholic reasoning. So that's my number 2. I will not take any argument against that. There's really nothing negative that can be said about Sprite.
Vodka Sprite is forever over for me because that was one of the worst nights of my life off of vodka Sprite, and I've not had one in 10 years.
It's a tasty drink. It makes makes the alcohol not really tasty.
It's a little too tasty for me, apparently. But I do like some Sprite. I don't think that's nowhere near number 2. But
no, it's great for tummy aches. That's for sure.
It's ginger ale.
Sprite, ginger ale, whatever. They're both good for tummy aches, Wes.
7-Up.
7-Up's trash. It's Sprite. It's not.
It's lemon lime. It's more limey than it is lemon.
I'm just fight you on this. It's the
same genre. It's the same group as.
Their recipe
Sprite.
is whatever's different in their 2 recipes. 7-Up's is trash comparatively.
But you like lemon lime Gatorade Zero. Okay.
Yes, I do.
Well,
right. Brad,
that's just unbelievable.
Unless you can trash him some more, just give us your number 2.
I mean, it's just unbelievable. I'm beyond words at this point, and for a podcast, to be beyond words doesn't make for a good listening experience. So I can move on if need be.
Yes, please do share your number 2 so people forget Wes's
trash comments. I will do that. Number 2, I have Red Bull. It is a great supplier of caffeine and energy. When you're out on the road, you're on a long road trip, you need a pick-me-up. I could have substituted coffee in here, but the reason I chose Red Bull is because anywhere you go, you don't know exactly what the coffee is going to be like. You don't know. I don't like black coffee. I like to make mine flavored a little bit, and it's just too big of a spectrum. Whereas Red Bull, you know what it's going to be. It's consistent. It's available everywhere. You can get it at any gas station. And to me, it has a great taste. And whenever I'm needing a pick-me-up, I just reach for a Red Bull, and I know it's going to be there for me.
And it gives you wings.
I knew that was going to be on your list. I was talking to Jamie before, and I was trying to predict your list, and I was like, I think I got like 2 of them so far, and I think I've got the number 1 too. So we'll see. I'll let you know afterwards.
Oh, if you know anything about me, Wes, then you've got my number 1. But yeah, number 2, it's become a staple in the fridge. You always got to have some Red Bull around because you never know when you're going to need a pick-me-up.
I can't argue with that at all. I choose Monster over Red Bull personally. I like the zero sugar Monster, and that's not my number 1. Did make my honorable mention list, and
I like Amp over Red Bull.
We ran the whole spectrum here for the energy drinks.
Got to have some representation.
Oh yeah. All right.
I do like when the Red Bull girls come around and they give out the free Red Bull in a little car, though. Shout out the girls hitting
The
the
apartment
pavement.
complex we used to live in had one of those people that drove that car.
Oh, and they like parked it at the apartment complex?
Yes.
Nice.
Thinking back on it, that might be the reason I started drinking Red Bull. But I mean, if the marketing works, it works.
It does. All right, Brad, let's hear that one. Pretty sure
All
I know
right.
what it is.
Number one, sweet tea.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, when it's done right, it's an art. It is an art to make good sweet tea.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Everybody's grandma in the South, if you go to anybody's house and they have grandma's tea, you know it's going to be absolute fire. After a hot day of working outside, the first thing I reach for is a cold glass of sweet tea. And I don't know as that has to do with the sugar, with the caffeine it gives you, but I think it also has to do with being raised in the South. It's almost ingrained in you to like sweet tea and to appreciate a fine cup of sweet tea. Although not everywhere you go, the sweet tea's the same. And hot take, I do not like McDonald's sweet tea.
It's a little overly sweet in my
Oh,
opinion.
there's no such thing. I love it.
Now, and I love a lot of sugar. I love really sweet tea. I think McDonald's is overly sweet.
I agree.
Or there's something off about it. It's whatever it is, it's not
Too thick. Like I have to chew it to get it down.
But I definitely cannot argue with you on sweet tea being number one. I think any self-respecting Southerner would have sweet tea at their number one. And
I know this is not a video podcast, but in my cup right now, you know I've got sweet tea. You know that I've got to be repping that number one spot while we're
How
doing
much
this
sweet
thing.
tea do you think you drink in a day? I'm just trying to rank this up between people who drink a lot of sweet tea, and then the scale for me is my old roommate who drank like 2 gallons of sweet tea a day.
I drink like half a gallon a day personally.
That's Seth. That's not healthy. We need to get that guy to a medical professional's office.
He drank between a gallon and 2 gallons every day, and now he only drinks unsweet tea. He's made the transition because he realized he kind of ruined his kidney.
This man is not stable. This man some help. I can drink about half a gallon a day normally. You know, there's some other stuff mixed in there. It's not just straight half a gallon of tea, but on a consistent basis, half a gallon's going down the drain.
I make a gallon every 2 to 3 days, I think, at the house, and so for me, it's anywhere from a half to a third a gallon a day. And Jamie's like, so Jamie actually does make me measure my sugar because she's like, we can't be putting too much in there. We gotta stay healthy. It's no better than a soda if you're just gonna put all the sugar in there. So, in case it's not obvious yet, my number one is also sweet tea. It is an elite beverage. And you can't convince me otherwise. It is the nectar of the gods. It is the number one beverage out there. Can't top it. And you can't convince me or Brad otherwise.
Yep. No argument here.
All right. Well, I feel like we've spent as much time as humanly possible on sweet tea. So,
I think we can spend a few more minutes if you'd like.
Without further ado, the number one beverage of all time is water. I'm with you, Brad. Water is truly God's gift to this green earth. There would be no life on earth without water. There would be no sweet tea, even the horrible tasting lemon lime Gatorade Zero without water. Water is the lifeblood of the world, and it's delicious, hydrates you, everything you ever needed in one drink. Water's got to be the winner. It's number one.
Now, when you say delicious, does your water have flavor where you live? Because if so, that's not healthy.
Water is is delicious by itself.
Water has a slight flavor. It's almost like the flavor of water is like lettuce. There's a flavor there. It's very, very bland, and I don't like lettuce personally that much. So there's a flavor, but it's not much of one, and it's very bland.
Water has different tastes depending on, the acidity of the water, things of that nature. I will tell you, there are certain types of water I am not a huge fan of. I call Aquafina aqua awful. I do not ever drink Aquafina.
Dasani is trash.
Yeah, Dasani's bottom of the barrel.
It is nowhere near as low as aqua awful.
No, it's worse than Aquafina. I would not put Aquafina much higher than Dasani, but it is by far the worst. During the pandemic, I remember getting a picture from somebody that went to the grocery store and all the water was gone except the Dasani, and people were just passing over the Dasani, like when the pandemic first started.
Like, we'd rather just die.
Yeah, I'll drink tap water before I'll drink Dasani. Thanks, though.
But water, number one.
Yeah,
There wouldn't
agree,
be any other drinks without water.
That's a solid argument. I went, as I stated earlier, I went with things that are very tasty drinks, but definitely understand the argument for water. We're all made up of water. There's water everywhere around us.
And you have to drink it every day, Wes, like you said.
People forget.
So
people forget you have to
I'm
drink.
glad we have Wes to remind them.
All right. Since everyone's going to bag on Wes, it seems, let's do a rundown of our top 5 and throw out some honorable mentions. So we'll start with you, Seth.
All right. So my top 5 started with tea, then Gatorade, lemonade, soda/pop, and water as the number 1 beverage of all time. And then I have, of course, my 5 honorable mentions. At 10, I had chocolate milk. Capri Sun made my list. Smoothies and milkshakes both made my list. And Frappuccino made my list because I don't like just plain black coffee. I got to have a little something, something.
What a weird honorable mention list. I know it's not your top 5 and people are voting on your top 5, but take that honorable mention list into account when you're voting, listeners, because that was terrible.
Is a smoothie a beverage, or is it?
Do
more
you
of
drink
a
it through a straw? Do you drink it through a straw?
Yeah, but you can also eat it with a spoon. You can't eat water with a spoon. I mean you can.
You can.
You can. I bet Wes has tried. I can almost guarantee it.
Because you have to have it every day. I mean, yeah, why not use a spoon? All right. I mean, that's a list, certainly.
It is a list.
It's a list. Yeah, I can't say much else about it.
This comes from the guy who's got Gatorade Zero Lemon Lime as number 3. Like, the fact that Vitamin Water Zero even made your list is mind blowing.
I like Vitamin Water Zero. It's tasty and healthy. I mean, I think
I like smoothies and milkshakes and frappuccinos and Capri Sun. Like, come on.
Only one of those is healthy sometimes, so
I don't care if they're healthy.
Yeah, okay. All right, we'll start with my top. We'll go with my rundown here. My top 5: 5 Vitamin Water Zero, 4 OJ, 3 Gatorade Zero, lemon lime flavor specifically. Back off, haters. Number 2 Sprite, and number 1 sweet tea. My honorable mentions. The one that was tough not to put on the list was Mountain Dew, but I only wanted to go with one soda. And Brad knows that back in the day I used to drink a whole lot of Mountain Dew. I don't drink it much now. I probably only have like one Mountain Dew a month just because.
What?
Yeah, I know. That's hard to believe. If you ask Brad, there was a time in my life when I went through a case of Mountain Dew in like 2 days in college. And
I would have bet an exorbitant amount of money that was going to be your number 1.
Yeah, and again, a couple years ago that would have been. Since I've been married, I have a wife who actually cares about my health and doesn't want me to get diabetes at the age of 26 from drinking 6 Mountain Dews a day. So
in the past few years, Brad, he has decided he's only going to allow himself to drink lemon-flavored drinks.
Yes, and Mountain Dew is not lemon.
Strictly lemon.
and some lime. So yes, Mountain Dew, it was a hard one to leave off because of in the past that was for sure what I drank the most, but it just barely missed the list. As I mentioned earlier, the sugar-free Monster, it's another one in my top 5. Another juice that I thought about, or I guess this counts as a juice, fruit punch. I like me some fruit punch. That made the honorable mention list.
Like Hawaiian Punch with the guy surfing on it, because that's like the goat fruit punch.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
And
we're
a
on the
good
same page.
and a fruit punch is a good one that has another dual meaning. Fruit punch and some rum. I like that. It's a nice little mixed drink. Brad, me and Brad have had some is it dragonberry with rum with fruit punch before.
Oh yeah, absolute fire
That's a good one.
combination.
Another one that I put on here is the Sonic Slushy with Nerds specifically.
Wait,
Yes.
time out. I just want to get this right. You said very specifically you don't like pulp because you're a texture guy, but you're sitting here drinking a drink that has fucking rocks in it that slide into your mouth.
So then when the nerds get in there, you get to chew on the nerds, and I like nerd candy, so it's like a drink and a candy.
You are a damn nerd, dude.
And then the last honorable mention here, I'll say of my fifth honorable mention is milk, but only with cookies. I don't really like milk with anything. Like I'll put milk in my cereal, obviously. The only time I'll ever drink a glass of milk is with a cookie, like with a hot cookie. That's it. So that stipulation is the milk, but only with a hot, fresh cookie.
Wait, just real quick. Sorry, Brad. I know you're ready to go over yours, but I am pretty sure. I just want to make sure that I remember this from episode 1. Wes, you very specifically said you like to eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch because you drink the milk afterward. But
That's
yet,
different.
you just told the listeners you only drink milk with cookies.
When cereal's been in it, the milk becomes, come on now. When
did you or did you not?
I did say that, but that's different.
Okay.
When you're eating cereal, drinking the milk out is part of eating cereal. I don't grab, I said, I'll say this again. I said, I do not grab a glass of milk is what I said. I do not drink a glass of milk. Drinking out of the cereal bowl and grabbing a glass of milk are two very different things. And I will cut that clip and send it to you because I said, I do not grab a glass of milk.
You drink your milk by the spoonful. Get out of here.
All right. We'll move on to Brad's recap here.
All right. At number 5, I had water. There's been plenty of arguments made for it, so that made number 5. Number 4 was Cheerwine. Number 3, Busch Light. Number 2 was Red Bull. And at number 1, the Nectar of the Gods, as said by Wes, sweet tea. I had a few honorable mentions. These are kind of all over the place, but I had, in no particular order, Pepsi. It's another product of North Carolina, so I had to throw that in there. Pepsi over Coke all day. Another light beer, I think I mentioned this, Coors Light. Similar flavors, but it just depends on what kind of mood you're in. I also had rum and Coke, just a different speed of things as opposed to a light beer, just depending on what you're going for.
So real quick, can I get some clarification?
Yes, sir.
Rum and Coke, yet you said Pepsi over Coke all day. So no rum and Pepsi.
Rum and Coke is a general term.
Okay, that's why I wanted clarification.
Rum and
got to make sure I know
soda,
what's going on here.
If at the point where I'm drinking rum and Cokes, I can't taste the difference. So
after you've had 2 Busch Lights, you just got to move on.
That's right. And then I had 2 specific Gatorades that came to mind. One was the red Gatorade Classic.
And then lemon lime, right?
Absolutely not. No. The word lemon lime is nowhere on this list. Absolutely. Red Gatorade Classic,
fruit punch.
Essence of fruit punch.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
And then the last thing on my list was the Arctic Blitz Gatorade. Now, this is kind of an obscure one. You can't find it everywhere. You just have to know the right places. But I thought about how to describe the flavor, and I really can't. You can't put it into words. It was on my top 5 until I realized I could not describe it enough to justify it being on the list, but it's an overall good flavor.
What color is that one?
It's like a blue-green.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I don't think I've ever tasted that flavor, so if I ever see it, I have to grab it now because it's probably the only thing that's been mentioned tonight that I've never tasted.
Yeah, Arctic Blitz. I think it was one of those things I picked up just out of curiosity, and it ended up being one of the all-time greatest Gatorade flavors for me.
All right. Well, there you have it. The top 5 beverages from Brad, Wes and Seth. Appreciate you all listening to the show today. It was quite an eclectic group of beverages from the three of us, I feel like. Be sure that you get on our Instagram and vote for who you think won this episode. Another thing we want to mention is to go out to whoever you stream us through and be sure that you review the show. We would really appreciate it. It helps us kind of show up in the searches when people are looking for new podcasts to listen to. And talk to us about what you think should be our next topic and get your friends to listen too. So thanks for joining episode 8 now. Wow, I can't believe we're already at episode 8. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks again, Brad, for being on the show. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you jumping in and giving us a good topic to debate today.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me.
All right, we're out.
See y'all. Hey guys, it's Seth. When Wes and I decided to start our podcast, we used Anchor because it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And they'll distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's essentially everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Thanks for supporting our show, 5 Over Friends.
We hope you'll join us next week as we debate a new topic.
Don't forget to submit topics on our latest Instagram post for a chance to be our next guest debating your top 5.
Subscribe, rate the show, and share with your friends to help us grow.
See y'all next week.